Hello, Jayhawks! Welcome back to another week of Run It Back. I feel like you could truly say November is sports season, so we have a lot to cover today. Coming off some tough losses for both basketball and football last week, KU fans are in a little bit of a slump. But that won't last long as more games are taking place very soon. From basketball to volleyball and even pro soccer, we have it all today. Stick around for a round table at the end, and all of this is happening right now on Run It Back. I can officially say I experienced a basketball game in Allen Fieldhouse after this Tuesday, and they did not lie. It was electric. Our basketball team is killing it, and this is just the start. So Alex will be checking in on their season. And then new on campus, the freshmen, like me, are really killing it already in just their first semester here. Now I'd say the freshmen on the basketball team might arguably be way cooler than me, so Emil is doing a feature on them today. And then our women's volleyball team has really been dominating their season, even with a loss against K-State. But they have a chance to make up for that as they play them again tomorrow in Manhattan. Mia will cover them soon. But speaking of women's teams, let's head to Gabby with our women's basketball team first.
Thanks, Jamison. Our Lady Jayhawks moved their winning streak to 3-0. With Sunday's win against Northwestern State, that home court advantage continued into Wednesday night's game against the Lamar Cardinals. Libby Fandel's layup early in the first quarter from the help of Reagan Williams put the first 2 points on the board for the Jayhawks. Williams then had a layup of her own with a pass from Samaya Nichols. Samaya Nichols also played another amazing game, ending with 15 points for the Hawks. Elle Evans was on her game, shooting 4 three-pointers throughout the night. Lamar tried to shorten the Kansas lead in the second quarter, but ended up falling short 4 points, bringing the halftime score to 27 KU, 23 Lamar. The second half, the Hawks continued adding points to the board with layups and assists dominating the court. Elle Evans hit yet another 3 of the night.
Get a corner 3 for Evans off the screen, and Elle Evans knocks down her third 3.
The game ended with the Jayhawks win 65-54 against the Cardinals. With Wednesday's game in the books, the Hawks will hit the road to take on our rivals for, you guessed it, the border war. The Lady Jayhawks take on our neighbors from Missouri at the T-Mobile Center tomorrow at 6 p.m. for the Storage Mart Border Showdown in Kansas City. Let's keep the winning streak going this weekend and show the Tigers how it's done in Kansas City. More on basketball is next, as Alex will bring you all the updates on our men's team as they hit the road last weekend to Chapel Hill and returned home for a win against Texas A&M Corpus Christi Tuesday night. They'll wrap up their weekend in Lawrence as Princeton takes on the Hawks Saturday night. Alex, passing it over to you.
Thanks, Gabby. We're not done with basketball talk yet. It's time to get into all things men's basketball. The Jayhawks may have lost a tough game to North Carolina last week, but they seem a lot more like themselves this week. KU is now ranked 25th after beating Texas A&M Corpus Christi to 77-46 in Allen Fieldhouse on Tuesday. The Jayhawks didn't have star freshman Darren Peterson, but another freshman really stepped up. Cole Rosario had a great night, scoring 16 points and grabbing 5 rebounds. He was the first KU freshman to do that in a single game since Johnny Furphy in 2024. Kansas may have settled in slowly overall, but they put points on the board right away, leading the whole game. After that fast start, their defense took over, holding the Islanders to 32% in shooting and blocking 12 shots. Flory Badunga led the charge with 4 blocks, while Bryson Tiller followed with 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks, building on his strong showing against North Carolina. Kansas was ahead 38-18 at halftime, and a 14-0 run in the second half sealed the win. Sheldon Williams, Corpus Christi's top scorer, scored 21 points last weekend and only 8 this week, showing the impact Kansas defense had. The Jayhawks are now focused on Princeton, who they will play tomorrow at Allen Fieldhouse. KU sits at 2-1, and fans are hoping that this bounce back will give Kansas the momentum for another Kansas win. And speaking of momentum, a lot of it is coming from the newest players on this team. Here is Jimmy to talk about all the star freshmen who are having an impact early in the season.
If you've been following college hoops this season, you already know this freshman class is different, not good, not promising, but special. We're talking production, poise, and star power that they usually don't see until guys are sophomores or even juniors, and right now the numbers are telling the story. Let's start with Cam Boozer, 18 points a night, and he's doing it with a smooth, inside-out efficiency that makes scouts excited. He's not forcing shots, he's reading the game, and he's already looking like a future matchup nightmare. Then there's Caleb Wilson, giving you 19 a game with that length and versatility on the wing. He plays like a modern prototype, someone you can plug into any system and instantly make it better. And Peterson, how about 21 points a game? One of the most polished scorers in the class. 3 levels, great pace, and never rattled. He might be the most bucket-ready player of the bunch. Players like CJ McCollum say that he could play in the NBA right now and be a productive player. He is the projected #1 overall pick. Arkansas guard Darius Acuff Jr. is dropping 19 a night, and the thing is that pops off the screen is how he controls how he plays. He's a freshman running offense like a seasoned vet, and his teammate Malik Thomas right there with him with 18 points, making that backcourt one of the most electric duos in the country. And of course, AJ DeBonta. The hype is real, and he's backing it up with 19 points per game, looking every bit like a future franchise cornerstone, physical and explosive, and confident in every scoring situation. When you take a step back and look at the whole picture, this is an absurd production for a freshman class. Multiple guys nearing 20 points per game, multiple players already looking like NBA-level creators. And the crazy part is, they're doing it in their first years under the light. So buckle up, because if these freshmen are already putting up these numbers, imagine what they're going to look like by March. Imagine what they'll look like in the NBA. This draft isn't just living up to the hype, they're rewriting it. I'm Jimmy Adeniran, and that's your look at college basketball. Now Mia will give you an update on KU volleyball.
Thanks, Jimmy. It's time to switch gears from KU hoops and head back to the court to talk all things KU volleyball. KU volleyball is bringing the intensity this week with another strong 3-set sweep against Cincinnati in Lawrence last Saturday night. After multiple back-to-back service aces from Zelenovic, KU was able to get an early run against the Bears, leading the set 21-9. They had killer plays from Ryan Swanson, Grace Nelson, and Reese Patak as a key trio during the match, all setting the tone for the offense for the night. Ryan Swanson led KU offensively with 12 kills, only making room for 1 attack error. Libero Ryan White held down the defense with 15 digs in the match, with major block help from Iono and Zelenovic, tallying 5 total team blocks in the match, leaving no room for the Bears to make a successful comeback. The number 13 Hawks are stacking wins and moving their conference record to 10-3. I have no doubt the Hawks will take this momentum with them in the final stretch of the regular season as they get ready for the NCAA tournament in weeks to come. For now, the Hawks are looking for redemption from the last Sunflower Showdown. KU has a second chance to break K-State in another battle in Manhattan tomorrow at 1 p.m. Stay tuned for more sports after the break.
For students searching for a way to stay active in an outdoorsy way, the City of Lawrence has bike trails running in every direction, and with the new bike share program, we can stay in shape as we tour the sights of our beautiful city. Clinton Lake is only a short 30-minute bike ride away from Daisy Hill and has the most incredible sunset location in all of Lawrence. Walking campus may give you the KU calves, but biking can give you the KU thighs. Bike Lawrence today.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
While KU football is on a bye this week, there's still plenty of football to watch as NFL kicked off games for the week starting just last night. That's right, Patrick is back with Thursday night's game. After a look at European soccer a couple weeks ago, USA men's soccer has some matchups as they gear up for the World Cup next summer, and Caden will be covering their season so far. Then Attica is featuring some more women's basketball leagues you may have never heard of. He's looking at Unrivaled League compared to Project B. And MMA fights are still going strong, and we couldn't have an episode without an update. Sam is back soon. Finally, we wouldn't leave without a round table, so Emil, Caden, and Jimmy are back with some football hot takes. First, Patrick will kick this part of our show off with some Thursday night games.
Thank you, Jameson. Last night, we saw a divisional showdown between the Patriots and the Jets and the emergence of a rookie running back we have been waiting for. Second-round pick Travion Henderson is finally breaking out in the role we thought he would be promised at the start of the season. The Jets went into this game coming off 2 straight wins and also without their 3 best players. Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams both got moved at the trade deadline for draft capital, and wideout Garrett Wilson was placed on injury reserve just a couple days ago. Despite this, they opened up the game with a march down the field and a Justin Fields 5-yard scramble into the end zone. The Patriots went into this game on a 7-game tear and have been by far the most surprising team in the NFL this year. I firmly believe that at this moment, Drake May is the MVP and a top 5 quarterback in this league. However, there was a bigger performance on the Patriots last night. Rookie Travion Henderson started the year incredibly slow as the Patriots insisted on prioritizing Ramondre Stevenson in the running game. In the past 2 games without Stevenson active, Henderson has racked up 250 yards and 5 touchdowns. Of course, he opened up with a touchdown on their opening drive. After that, they went back to the well, and Henderson picked up another touchdown on the ground. The Jets kept this game a lot closer than most people expected. They're only down 7 at half, which is great for any team genuinely starting Justin Fields at quarterback. To be fair, without Garrett Wilson playing, he doesn't have a single offensive passing threat. Adonai Mitchell was part of the haul from the Sauce Gardner trade. Last night was another frustrating game for him. He truly cannot catch the ball, and it's not just because his quarterback is Justin Fields. I'm not done talking about Henderson yet. He got into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the night. I honestly deserve this because I drafted him in the 4th round of all of my fantasy leagues. However, the Jets were quick to respond with the Canadian-born John Mechie, who they were acquired from the Eagles. If you really want one play to sum up the Jets season, I couldn't give you a better example than this botched snap by Justin Fields. I'm sure most Jets fans already have a countdown until the draft's set on their phones, and the Patriots close out this game and win their 8th straight. Patriots fans really only had to wait a few years to find their next generational quarterback, but I can't even bring myself to dislike Drake May because he's just so good. Caden, give us the scoop on some U.S. men's soccer.
Thanks, Patrick. As Kansas City and other cities around North America prepare to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup, the U.S. men's national soccer team is looking to round in quality form with their 2 upcoming friendlies this month. The has been a challenge as of late, as the U.S. squad has been dealing with a myriad of injuries to key players, such as striker Folarin Balogun, fullback Serginho Dest, and the team's best defender in Anthony Robinson. One thing of note from injuries that has opened up a space for the once rising star in U.S. soccer, Giovanni Reyna, the opportunity to prove himself once an integral piece of this team for the World Cup. The issues don't stop with the players, as questionable roster moves since the appointment of Mauricio Pochettino as the team's head coach in 2024 haven't helped the squad either. Pochettino, a highly decorated and proven winner in Europe, was hired to bring it success and an ultra-competitive, fast-paced style on the pitch, something U.S. squad's been lacking for years. But it's been anything but a smooth ride for the Argentinian, as he's lost his first 5 out of 10 matches and has an overall record with the U.S. of 10-7-1. However, after winning 2 of the last 3 matches and pulling a draw on the other, things may finally be looking up for the Americans going to upcoming matchups against Paraguay and Uruguay this month. Ranked currently the 41st national team in the world, the U.S. men's team needs to rattle off some wins or at least some tough draws against the 2 nations if they want to keep momentum rolling into the summer. The U.S. men's team opens up its November slate against Paraguay tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Time at Subaru Park in Chester, Pennsylvania, followed quickly with a matchup against Uruguay on the 18th at 6 p.m. Central at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, Florida. Next up, Adkai showing off a more elite ball knowledge with a look at unrivaled women's basketball league. Adkai?
Caden, you flatter me. The U.S. men's soccer team aren't the only athletes tuning up, however, as WNBA players are going to their prospective offseason leagues to prepare for the next WNBA season. WNBA offseason is in full swing, and with the break in action, it begs the question of where players from the W will be playing this offseason. Now, the most common answer for players is Unrivaled, a 3-on-3 league in its 2nd year of action that attracted most of the top-end WNBA talent, including Rookie of the Year Paige Beckers. But another option that's just flying a little under the radar is this new league called Project B. This league has investors like Candace Parker, LeBron James, Novak Djokovic, Sloane Stephens, and more professional athletes. But what makes this a better option than Unrivaled or any other off-season option? The short answer, contracts. All reports on Project B have said that deals are in the 7 figures, and that's unheard of money in the realm of women's basketball. Now, I expect that Project B will push the boundaries on the WNBA's prioritization rule from the 2020 collective bargaining agreement that states that players have to report for the WNBA season by May 1st or receive harsh penalties and fines. Now, bigger contracts means less incentive to go back to the WNBA, and that could potentially have bigger ripples than just a few players showing up late to the season. Okay, so who are the players actually signed with Project B? First, there's 6-time All-Star Alyssa Thomas, as well as none other than the president of the Players Association, 2016 MVP Nneka Ogwumike. Now, that's not a good look for anyone when the Players Association president is spearheading a new league with significant backing while the current collective bargaining agreement is being delayed. So, how does her signing a rumored multi-million-dollar contract affect her leading negotiations for the new bargaining agreement? Only time will tell. Now, some linchpins still waiting to follow the potential signings of superstars Asia Wilson and Caitlin Clark. Will they remain out of the spotlight like they did last offseason, or will they sign with Project B and all but guarantee a lockout for the 2026 season? I suppose we'll just have to wait for all this to unfold the next couple of weeks, as the CBA is supposed to be signed and both leagues will start play by the end of the month. Now, to go from one sport that's just getting underway to another sport's farewell of sorts, I'm sending it over to our MMA specialist to give us a preview of UFC 322. Sam, take it away.
Thank you, Adekine. Get hyped. The second to last UFC pay-per-view of the ESPN era is the most anticipated of 2025. 2 title fights at Madison Square Garden. Prelims start at 5 Central and the insane main card at 8. There is no better opportunity right now to be baptized into combat sports, and these are the fights you're paying for. Number 9, lightweight Beneil Dariush takes on number 13, Benoit St. Denis. Both coming off wins. Benoit, that calm round 2 finish of Mauricio Ruffi in Paris. That was a somber night for fighting nerds fans, whose strongest contender is featured in the next fight on this main card. Welterweight build-up, it's 9th-ranked Carlos Prates versus number 4 Leon Rocky Edwards. So much to gain here for Prates, and he is the favorite at -175. 2 guys headed in opposite directions, it seems. Any hopes of Edwards returning to a title shot rests on him pulling himself out the fire. Lost his belt last summer, then Sean Brady became the first man to finish him in March of this year. Prates still fresh off that momentous spinning elbow KO in August, hoping his post-fight cigarette is a celebratory one. More movement in the division set to follow as Sean Brady takes on Michael Morales. 2 more top 10 welterweights right before the legacy-altering scraps for gold. 1 combined loss between these guys, and for what it's worth, Islam is backing Brady to win it. He is a betting favorite. Into the co-main event, which may very well be the greatest women's fight ever. Pound for pound number 1 versus pound for pound number 2. Shevchenko, Weili, Kyrgyzstan, China for the flyweight title. Weili vacated the strawweight belt in February to challenge for a second belt. Here's what's at stake for the 37-year-old Valentina Shevchenko and the 36-year-old Zhang Weili. A win for Shevchenko would move her joint first alongside the woman with the most UFC title fight wins, Amanda Nunes, with 11. Shevchenko was featured in 12 of the 13 flyweight title fights and sits first in the division for wins, second for finishes, first for KOs and TKOs, and holds the longest win streak of 9. If Weili wins, she will become the only the second woman to be a 2-division UFC champ, but the first to do it at strawweight and flyweight. This is about as super as a super fight can get. Finally, the main event, Islam Makhachev attempts to pry the welterweight belt from Jack Della Maddalena. This is a legacy builder for Islam, trying to join the set of legendary fighters that can call themselves 2-division champs. This is Maddalena's first title defense after he captured the belt in May. The combined win streak between these 2 freaks is 33 victories. Islam submitted his last 2 opponents. He is also 3-0 versus Aussie fighters, if you include Dan Hooker in that list. Most are keen on him achieving the 2-division milestone at MSG. He is a -285 favorite. And then here are the 3 of the most compelling fighters on the prelims, keeping a DWCS theme. Baysangor Susarkai, the DWCS Week 1 standout this year, who completed a 4-day turnaround to bag a win at UFC 319, is back and hunting 11-0. The Russian fights Eric Makoniko, an 11-year age gap there in the second fight of the night. Susarkaev is the safest bet to eat a W in New York at -1050. Bo Nickel returns after being handed his first loss in May of this year. The former NCAA wrestling champion is favored in the final fight of the prelims. And 10-0 Malcolm Wellmaker, he'll get you a highlight, and he gets a new opponent. Now at featherweight in on 2 days' notice, it is Ethan Ewing stepping up after Cody Haddon was pulled due to a broken foot sustained in training. Ewing has 10 pro fights under his belt fighting out of Anaheim Hills, California. This will be his UFC debut. You could not script a crazier debut for him. Wellmaker made a splash at last year's season of the Contender Series and has since knocked out 2 UFC opponents. His last 4 fights have ended rather quickly, and he's yet to fight outside of round 1 in a UFC octagon. Wellmaker also favored. Not a fun right hook to get fed to if you're Ewing. What a delicious splatter of fights tomorrow. It's Jimmy, Caden, and Emil to break down college basketball next.
Thanks, Jameson. Both college football and the NFL are past their midway points in their seasons, and while some teams are starting to round in for an upcoming playoff run, others should already be booking their tickets to Cabo. Sorry, Cowboy fans. I'm Caden back with Jimmy and Emil giving our takes on upcoming awards and predictions for both leagues. Starting off with college, Jimmy, there's a lot of guys balling out right now. Who's your pick for this year's Heisman Award?
Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to go with Mendoza, but give me Ty Simpson. I just believe he's had 21 touchdowns to only 1 interception, over 200,000 yards passing this season. I just think he would get it over Mendoza just because of the level of competition he plays in the SEC, which I believe is the best conference in football. So I just think with that, he would get it over Mendoza.
I'm part of the majority. I got Mendoza winning it. I mean, he's leading the number 2 Indiana team. You saw that drive against Penn State last week. But I would be doing a disservice if I did not give flowers to Joe Faneno. 25 touchdowns to 0 interceptions, the UConn quarterback. He would be my choice if they just played a little bit better teams.
Look, America loves underdogs, and so do I. And so that's why I'm going with Diego Pavia. He's leading Vanderbilt's best season so far. You know, outside of that pretty bad Alabama loss, they've only lost one other game, and it was by 3 points. He's my pick. I think that if they went out the rest of their season, he should be a strong contender. And then moving on to the NFL, I'm not sure if the MVP race has ever been this up in the air through 11 weeks. Jimmy, who do you see taking home the hardware?
I was really close to picking Matthew Stafford, but after, not even just last night, but I think I'm going to go with Drake May. 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's first in the league in passing yards, so I'm going to go with Drake May. They just won 8 straight games after beating the Jets last night. And I think it's just going to be a really good storyline, although I would not be shocked if Matthew Stafford got it.
Yeah, I got Matthew Stafford. I mean, he's projected to have one of the best passing MVP seasons since Aaron Rodgers went back-to-back. I mean, he's leading the Rams. Nobody thought the Rams were going to be this good. We knew they were going to be good, but they're looking like they could contend for a Super Bowl.
I have to say, a running back will never win this award again, but Jonathan Taylor should win MVP this season. The Colts he's the only reason the Colts are good. But I have to go with the Greek football god that is Patrick Mahomes. Okay, all of his weapons are back. He's been the best quarterback ever since all of his weapons have came back. They're probably going to win out the rest of the season, I believe. Outside of that, not well Buffalo game, but he is missing his left tackle due to personal reasons. So I believe he's probably going to put up league-leading numbers and put him back in the Super Bowl.
They got a tough one this weekend against the Broncos.
I doubt it. And finally, come January, 2 teams will head to Santa Clara, California for the chance to claim the legendary Lombardi. Jimmy, what team will be winning all this year? Is it possibly the Panthers' year?
Definitely not with Bryce. I mean, I wish, but unfortunately, it's probably going to be the Eagles. I was really close to picking the Packers, but watching them on Sunday, and even just the last 2 weeks, them losing to my Panthers, I think I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think their defense is playing a lot better this year. And with the AFC, I'm going to probably have to go with the Chiefs. I really want to not pick the Chiefs, but it's really hard for me to pick a young Drake May because it'll be an experience.
Yeah, I also got Chiefs-Eagles. As much as it hurts to say, I mean, the Chiefs, they just get bailed out in the playoffs every year. They're going to play the Broncos maybe. We all know how the Bills go. As long as they can get that championship win, I think they'll have it. Eagles, they have the best roster in the NFC. I think they'll win it.
Well, I guess we all have the Chiefs coming out of it. I had the Chiefs coming out of the AFC. I had the Seattle Seahawks actually beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I know Sam Darnold kind of fell apart last season in the postseason, but they have a top 5 defense. They're getting Rashid Shaheed, who's only going to make this offense any better. He's playing on fire right now. It's kind of a hot take. I think maybe my hottest take of the entire show, but I like it. I think he's playing really well right now. That's all the time we have for hot takes this week. Coming up, Jameson is going to finish the show out.
Thanks to our roundtable. Well, that's going to wrap up this week's episode. Crazy to think we have one show left of this semester, so make sure to tune in one last time next week. While we are away on break, KU sports do not stop. They're in full swing, so go support your Jayhawks. Keep up with us on social media and Media Crossroads, as we always have new content on them. We're live 10 a.m. on Fridays and 2:30 on Mondays, and Playmakers follows us on 12 p.m. on Fridays, so check them out for more sports content. That's all we have for you today. We'll see you next time on Run It Back.